Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we begin the final stretch toward the Texas border, beginning in the city of Sulphur, Louisiana, not to be confused with Port Sulphur near the mouth of the Mississippi River. Sulphur has a population of 20,410 and is named for the sulfur mines that were operated in the area in the 1900s. In 1867, Professor Eugene W. Hilgard, an experienced geologist who was prospecting for oil and other minerals, conducted exploratory borings in Calcasieu Parish and discovered sulfur in the cap rock of a salt dome. However, the sulfur was beneath several hundred feet of muck and quicksand containing deadly hydrogen sulfide gas, which made mining extremely hazardous. Repeated unsuccessful attempts to sink conventional mining shafts in the 1870s and 1880s resulted in the loss of many lives. In 1890, the German immigrant Hermann Frasch invented and patented the Frasch process of mining sulfur, using concentric pipes to pump superheated water into the ground, liquefy the material, and force the liquid to the surface with compressed air. The first molten sulfur was brought to the surface on Christmas Eve of 1894. Sulfur soon began to be mined on an industrial scale, with the molten mineral allowed to solidify and dry in enormous vats 100 by 400 feet, then blasted and hauled by rail to the Sabine River for shipment. Frasch's invention greatly facilitated sulfur mining, and the Union Sulphur Company, a joint venture of Dr. Frasch and the American Sulphur Company that owned the land, sparked a period of booming growth in the decades that followed. The elementary school on South Huntington Street in downtown Sulphur is named after Frasch. With the addition of the city's service, or Citgo oil refinery, in 1943, the areas of Maplewood and Hollywood were developed to house refinery workers. The Sulphur area is still mostly dependent on the oil refineries and petrochemical plants for employment. The bayous near Sulphur are habitat for American alligators, which have been known to enter into the city. Throughout the city of Sulphur, US-90 is known as Napoleon Street. We're now approaching the town of Vinton. Here, the old Spanish trail wandered north and south of what is now US Highway 90, in large part because of the unstable roadbed. The chief means of outside travel in the parish relied on riverboats plying the Sabine and Calcasieu rivers. Much of the marsh and bayous remained impassable. River travel made Lake Charles possible, just as mining for sulfur led to the founding of the city of Sulphur. Settlers had long been in the Vinton area. Jean-Baptiste Granger settled acreage between what is now Vinton and Big Woods around 1827, one of the first pioneers of the area. Even so, the area remained sparsely populated. The area had few settlers because France, New Spain, and Mexico disputed the western boundary of Louisiana for many years. When the United States made the Louisiana Purchase, the disputed area was inherited. Spanish Lieutenant Colonel Simón de Herrera and U.S. General James Wilkinson signed an agreement designated the area as neutral ground, also known as the Neutral Strip. The agreement was not a treaty and not ratified by either government, but it was respected by both countries. The area, sometimes referred to as the Rio Hondo territory, was off limits to the military of both countries, and settlers were not to be allowed, but that did not stop squatters from both countries. There had been numerous attempts to improve transportation throughout the 19th century. In the 1830s, on the nearby Sabine River, Dr. Robert Neblett developed a bluff into a thriving river port which became known as Niblett's Bluff, 6 miles west of the present-day town. Confederate soldiers in 1863 cut a military road extending from Niblett's Bluff on the Sabine River to Alexandria. Although the road never developed into a major artery, during the American Civil War, Niblett's Bluff became Fort Niblett, which assisted the Confederate success in the Battle of Mansfield. Fort Niblett continues to be commemorated as part of Niblett's Bluff Park, supported by local taxes. Calcasieu Parish and Vinton itself might have remained an undeveloped rural backwater without two signal events. The first, which had the greatest material impact on the entire community, was the decision by J. Pierpont Morgan's Louisiana and Texas Railroad Company to construct a railroad from New Orleans to Beaumont, Texas. The second and most important for Vinton was the arrival of a physician and former professor from Indiana and Iowa, Dr. Seaman A. Knapp. The economy of the town was further diversified and strengthened by the discovery of petroleum at Ged Lake. We conclude today's drive at the junction of US-90 and LA-3063 in Vinton. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos come out. Share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.